Hi, second graders. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about main idea of a text. It is such an important skill that we need to know for third grade. Being able to read a story or a nonfiction piece and tell us the main idea, what that passage is mostly about. So please get ready to listen. All right, please listen as I read our passage. Remember to visualize, use your thinking voice because there are no pictures. We are today going to learn about a person called Amelia Earhart. You may have heard of her before, so we're going to learn about her life. So we're going to learn some true facts through this passage about her. Here we go. Amelia Earhart was a famous airplane pilot. She was born in 1897. She saw her first airplane at the Iowa State Fair at age 10. Amelia Earhart started taking flying lessons in 1921. Then she bought her first plane. She named the plane Canary because it was bright yellow. In 1932, Amelia Earhart became the first woman to fly alone across the Atlantic Ocean. The U.S. Congress gave her a medal called the Distinguished Flying Cross after this accomplishment. Amelia Earhart set many new flying records. Also, in 1932, she became the first woman to fly alone nonstop from one coast of the United States to another. In 1937, she decided to fly around the world. Her plane was lost over the Pacific Ocean. Amelia Earhart was never heard from again. So, friends, in this passage, we heard many interesting facts about Amelia Earhart. Do you notice I read it a little slower since it was nonfiction so that I could get those details and those facts into my head and visualize them? I was very careful to stop at punctuation marks so that I could understand what the sentence was saying. That's a very good strategy when you're reading nonfiction. So we're going to talk about the main idea of this passage. Remember, the main idea is what this passage is mostly about. And it's usually a one-sentence statement that talks about the main idea. What was this mostly about? I don't want to know all the details. I do not want you to retell it. I want one sentence. So was this passage all about Amelia Earhart flew around the world? Was it about Amelia Earhart? She was a famous pilot who set many flying records. Or was it about Amelia Earhart had a yellow airplane called Canary? Now, I heard all of these inside of this passage, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and get rid of letter C because that's a no way to me. This whole passage was not about that airplane called Canary. If this was the main idea, that's all they would really tell us about. So I'm thinking it's either all about Amelia Earhart flew around the world or Amelia Earhart was a famous pilot who set many flying records. Can you think about which one you would pick to be the main idea? I look at the first sentence. The first sentence sometimes gives me an idea. Amelia Earhart was a famous airplane pilot. Sometimes the last sentence gives me an idea. Her plane was lost over the Pacific Ocean. Amelia Earhart was never heard from again. That one doesn't really sound like a main idea. So as I look at the first sentence, I see part of it right here in letter B. So our best answer is letter B. This is the main idea. Amelia Earhart was a famous pilot who set many flying records. And then the author gives more details about her, about some of the records that she made and other interesting details about her. Because the main idea by itself is a little boring. We want to hear more details. I do want to talk about this one, though. How does the author organize or order the information in this passage? So the author used a strategy in this passage to organize the information. We've talked about organizing information with a beginning, middle, and an end. and a sequence of events, but the author did something a little different in this one. Can you think about what the author did or how the author organized this information? I see lots of dates. So it made me think almost like a timeline where the information was organized by dates. So this could almost be put on a timeline. So please, as you're reading, pay attention to all the different ideas the author is giving you. Think about why the author is writing this, the main idea of the passage or text, how it's organized. You have done a great job so far this year. We are so proud of you. Keep up the good work and keep reading.